I should make this clear. So let me make this very valid for y'all to understand. Um, because I don't think some people get it. But I say things when I talk about how I feel or what I think. There are times when I do things to invoke, not to trigger necessarily, but let's just say to invoke a certain type of thinking. Some people they think the way they do, but for me, like I do things to get under the skin. Like I say things premeditated as well as not really me saying like, oh, I'm gonna say this, but just when I feel it, it's like, you know what? Let me say this to irk you because I want you to feel some type of way and in a sense cause a response. Not necessarily to piss you off, but I say things because, you know what I mean? Like I want to hear what people really think sometimes. Um, for that reason, as well as, yeah, I want to invoke some kind of change as well in how you thinking compared to how you were thinking, like now compared to how you were thinking 5 minutes ago. So don't get me wrong, I do react to things, but like I'm a little bit different from say Sean C or necessarily Miami, who they're just people that just give their ideas of what they feel and everything. But me, I go and I take things a little bit further than those cats. So when you hear what Sean C says, like that's just how he thinks and that's just his mentality. For me, I can approach things from different perspectives and I see things not just in my way, but also see things in other people's way. So so when I say things that are controversial, that gets people pissed, I intended it to be controversial. So I just want to make that clear. Like I do that on purpose for a reason. It's not because I'm stupid or I can't think otherwise. It's because I want to be polarizing for that moment. And I want to kind of get the community, I guess, to get going and really start talking and discussing. Not necessarily, I don't want to hear, I don't want to like start like a huge ass fire that gets people going all crazy and shit, getting all mad and spiteful towards one another. I kind of want to challenge how you think in a sense and see you really step up to be full 100 instead of, giving that a lazy ass response or remark and that's just like half-assing it, you know what I mean? So I see plenty of people that do that and then they're not really willing to challenge themselves to actually invoke their thoughts and think a little bit more, which by the way, special shout out to J. Pierre. I really want to see you do more and don't just like tell me about like stats, which is really cool. Don't get me wrong, but I want to hear more from you. Like I want to really know what stimulates your sense. Like what do you feel like hits you specifically, or that, you know what I mean? Like get into it, man. And to anybody else too. Like if you feel like you like an artist, tell me what you like about them. Don't just tell me, oh, he's the best. Give me more. Give me more clarity of how you feel, because I want to understand. Because I feel like a lot of the times when I respond to these people, I really go in depth and talk about it. Most of the time, they don't even really come back to see what I got to say. They just want to say what they pieces and they move on, which at the end of the day, I'll respect it if you want to say your piece. However, if you leave with a impression of me that isn't accurate and only because of what you saw me say for 30 seconds rather than really understand what I get into things, hell, you don't even live with me in the first place. So how could you know how I move or act? That's something I might have a little bit of an issue with. Not necessarily to the point where I'm pissed off or, angry in any sorts, but rather like it makes me question, did you really think this all the way through? Or did you just, at the end of the day, you care or not, but it's cool. But like, don't get it twisted. To me, like you got to show some sort of respect in a sense to understand someone before you move on and understand what they're about before you really can go and say what you think about them. You know what I mean? Because that's where you get misleading ideas and you be like, oh, I didn't know you were like this or didn't like that. I think that's something that we all can improve on if we just take the time to understand people and try not to get as irked or as triggered. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do things. I'll joke, I clown. I get plenty of dislikes and I love it. I love every time I get a thumbs down. Cause to me, it shows me that I'm doing something right. I really don't give a damn. I really don't. But it's just I want to really get people to, I guess, think a little bit deeper. At the same time, bring more of themselves out and don't feel so introverted. Like, go ahead, tell me everything you want to say, and I'll be here to listen. I read your fucking comments. I read everybody's comments and I respond to everybody. That's how I am about, man. Because you know what? If we don't interact with one another and we tend to only side with what we think and we don't try to see things from other perspectives, how will we ourselves grow and learn to be able to be a better person each and every day? I feel like if we avoid these interactions or these encounterments because we don't feel like we have the force or the energy to, that's where I think it hurts us. Because I'm not saying necessarily you got to respond immediately, but just to at least get into the conversation with that person and really talk and understand what they think and what they feel about. Because that's when we're missing out, man. And I just realized I had this shit go 6 minutes. I only meant this to be a 2-minute video, but that's all I gotta say. It's your boy True Blue signing out. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. Deuces.